Good afternoon. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns, everybody. We've got a link to the past randomizer 80 Keys Tournament 2022 Round 1 Game 3 match for you today. Gammachuu versus Obscure Lifeform. In the commentary booth, we've got Homemade Beer and Moogle Charm. And tracking, we've got Tofile and Royale with Cheese. So I'll send it over to the commentary booth and get this runner started.
Thank you, Super Aardvark. I am Moogle Charm. I'm here, like you said, with Homemade Beer, and we're here to talk about Gamma versus Obscure. This is a bootsless 80 keys, so just a normal default. Homemade Beer, how are you doing?
Hey, Moogle, I'm doing good today. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm in the Chicago area. It is like close to 70 degrees out. No snow. It's sunny. It's awesome. I love it. And we've got Gamma and Obscure Lifeform hype match. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, super exciting here. Looking forward to this. These guys have quite the history in tournament races.
Yeah, definitely. They faced off in the main tournament last year, made it to the final four. Game 3 here, so the rubber match. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so what do you think we're going to get for starts here?
I have a feeling Gamma's going to check Saha, but in terms of Obscure Lifeform, I'm not sure. Uncle?
Going, yeah, a little bit of Uncle routing here.
Ooh.
The two. Okay.
Oh, it's not a boot start. That's right. I
totally had to put a boot start. Oops. Hey, good tier 1, though. Get some bombs. Gammachuu side. Obscure did not get the sign, so he won't get a tier 1 pull unless he kills the guards in the hallway here and then comes back out. But he will get bombs. Yeah, okay, so it's like getting the bombs here and then off the Uncle, getting a glove. It's a good start. Now you can do back of escape, right?
Yeah. You think with 7 bombs, Gamma's going to do the front of escape?
I don't know. Looks like he's going back out there. He might go. He can get more on another tree pull.
Yeah, it's not in logic without that Hyrule Castle key, but given the fact that he just got the glove and he knows he can do the back as well, it's not a bad play.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that front of escape doesn't necessarily get put into logic early, so.
Ooh, an Obscure pulling the mitts. So we've got mitts at a minute 30.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, we just need a Moon Pearl out of Blindside and we'll be right in the Dark World now. Like, just skip the rest of Keck. Just go right in.
Yeah, there's nothing in the overworld, right?
Yeah. Now, what do you tend to do? I know some players, they even if they'll get Dark World access in Kakariko, they will just continue to do all the rest of the Sphere 1 checks. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I think doing, at least the density things, you can try and consider for potential future efficiency. Like if you think you might find a mirror, you could save some of the Saha for later when you go over to pod, stuff like that. But yeah, I like to get as much Sphere 1 done as possible before going into the Dark World, because it kind of gives you a clue as to what you're supposed to be doing once you get to the Dark World.
Yeah, Gamma having some trouble here and not realizing he only had 1 heart. Did pull the big key out of Desert while OLF got the small key to Castle Tower at the mushroom spot.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so Zelda Cell might have something because it's the same logic that blocks the Desert big key. So that could be Phil's bad moment later if Gammachuu's forced to go back there. But I feel like maybe he just never does at this point.
Yeah, that's going to be a last location at this point, probably.
but this looks good. Yeah, just rushing Kakariko makes sense at this point if you don't, because it's kind of your other options if you want to do mini Boulder Cave or Dam early just to see if you can pull a flute or a bottle. But might be less likely in a mode like this, so who knows?
Right. Yeah, the nice thing though is those tier 1 bombs, so they won't be hurting for weaponry at any point. But yeah, like you said, for now, just probably clear out CAC. Let's do some of the South Shore stuff after that and go from there.
Yeah, figure out what the game wants from you. It's fun. It's fun early games like this when there's no weapons and you keep going and keep going. You just keep not finding weapons. Like, okay, I guess just bombs for now.
Yeah, we'll say in my couple of races, I was swordless for a good, I think, close to an hour in one of them, 30 plus minutes in another. Just something that tends to happen in this mode with all the things that you could find.
Yeah, and then you just never find a sword again.
Yeah. Right, got one of our 6 pod keys there in the well. And a nice skull key. It's a good hammer.
Yeah. No, you don't have to think that there's a million places it could be once you get to the Dark World.
Yeah, and it'll open up some more divergence more than likely once these guys find that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, definitely. There's an interesting choice that can be made now if they don't find the mirror early on. If you come into the Dark World from the Kakariko portal, you can clean up anything you can there and then get the first smith ready for turn-in all the way to Hype Cave, or you could ignore it all and just go straight to pod. But that's always an interesting question in this mode is, when do you go to pod?
Yep, and Gamma scouting Lumberjack, finding a small key up there. Is he going to head up the mountain from here? Or he looks like he's just getting more bombs?
I think he is. He'll probably get the save and quit point and then just leave and just have it for later. I think this route is somewhat reasonable to do. So then maybe he'll try and route Kakariko from the south after this, hoping to find a Moon Pearl and go straight in, or maybe not sure what he likes to do.
Yep.
Not blind checking the race game in Key Sanity. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I will say I see both sides of it. I tend to check it blind if I don't have boots. If I have boots, I'll probably go walk over there or run over there, and then, if I need to go get it, then I just run right back, which doesn't take too much time.
Yeah, I think there's an argument to be made both ways. So, but in matches like these at this stage of the tournament, it's like every second starts to count, even in the early game.
Yep. Definitely a key we want. Another key to pod.
Okay, so it looks like this is the go fish for a Moon Pearl play before going to CAC. I think Gamma's going to last location Kakariko here now. He wants to be able to just go straight to the Dark World as soon as he walks there, so he doesn't have to waste 2 trips walking to that side of the world. Ooh, that's always interesting.
Yeah, we all love Pendant Swamp.
Yeah.
Always nice to find that hook shot in there.
Oh, and a mirror.
Nice mirror. Yeah, so he may get that hammer in CAC and then go back to the mountain at some point. Sooner rather than later.
True, I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, it's always good to know what your pendants are. I know people usually skip maps early because you find it out as you beat the dungeons, but sometimes having an extra map or two that you find along the way lets you understand what possible items you could find in GT. And with Pendant Swamp, you could find the small key to Swamp in GT. It's definitely a thing that has happened to me in this tournament. Well, it was actually the mirror in GT, but who's really counting? Oh, Gamma's not having fun with bombs today.
No, we're having a little bit of trouble. Gonna have to be careful because a hit from anything in there will kill him, but gets through it. Olaf doing Dam to Agina, by the way.
Yeah, and I think he found the pod big key. I think was in Dam, so I'm not sure if we commented on that. Oh, there we go. Pulling out the Moon Pearl from Agina. That's nice.
So I do wonder now, Gamma making the early play over to Saha, getting the mirror.
That's pretty huge because Obscure's not going that direction. He's probably waiting for the mirror to go there.
Exactly. You always want to try to combo Pod and Eastern in together if at all possible. So he may go a little while without that mirror.
Yeah, and what really hurts in this mode, in this route, is you're pretty much checking everything in this mode. So he's gonna not be checking the mirror checks on his way through his first pass of the Dark World.
Yeah.
And he'll have to decide if he ever wants to go back and do them or if he's forced to.
Right. Yeah, and the route that Gamma took, he ended up taking Mini Moldorm this way. So I'd have to imagine that he's going to take Dam to Agina just like Olaf did and not be too late to that Moon Pearl.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny thing is, too, in both of their situations, he's probably like, oh, I could try and save Dam for my first pass of the Dark World. No, you can't. But yeah, it looks like he's doing the last location Kakariko play here, which is going to work really well with the item layout so far.
Yeah.
So neither runner dipping Eastern for a bow. That never happens. That's what it does.
No. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. There was a match earlier in this tournament where both bows were in Eastern. I don't remember the runners at the moment off the top of my head, but that was a great one to watch.
Yeah, Eastern's always so tricky in this mode, right? It's if you put it off more than 20, 25 minutes, there's this tendency where you're just not going there unless you can full clear it. And if you don't get that bow, if the bow is in Eastern, like you said, you're not going there till the hour 20-minute mark and you see it and you're like, oh, I'm immediately behind.
Yeah, or both bows being in there like that one.
Yeah, right.
And Obscure found the Samaria in the chest, which is done faster with Samaria in Skull Woods. So it's a good place for Samaria.
Yeah, and was able to pull a small key out of Kakariko early on. So it makes dungeon diving Skull Woods much, much better.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst to have to go through here without a small key the first time through. But yeah, now Gammachoo's got his Dark World access. He can go clear Kak from the south and then come back through and clean up as much as he can with that mirror in hand.
Yeah, I'd say, he doesn't have the hammer yet. I was going to say that it would have been nice to have gotten that because then he could have done this entire sweep and do K45 and stuff.
Oh.
So there's a little bit of inefficiency that he's going to miss out on.
Yeah.
But overall, having that mirror is going to be obviously way more beneficial than not.
So does he do Smith Chain here then? Is that what you're saying?
It's very possible. I can see where you go into the Dark World, you jump into Skullwoods just like OLF did, but you end up doing Graveyard Ledge and then just kind of the entire loop around the world.
Yeah, you can get all the way. If you do all that, then you can get all the way down to. Well, I guess you would end at Pod probably, right, or Pyramid, depending on what you're able to complete by that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, he'll end up getting, if he does that route, he'll have the cane. Depending on what else is on that loop, it's possible that he just takes it to Catfish and does some shenanigans as it relates to. There's the boots.
Nice boots. This is a nice
shenanigans for water walking for Zora. So, it's possible he does some of that stuff.
That's true, yeah. We still have the Zora stuff. Catfish. If you find some splashly items, all they need is a red boomerang, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Olaf making good use of those boots. A great dungeon to have those before you go into in Thieves Town.
Oh man, it's the best. Yeah, nothing in Thieves Town so far. One of those weird kind of Sphere 1 Dark World checks that Thieves Town tends to be kind of loaded in this first 4 checks. There's just nothing here, and there's no reason to ever do it. But you do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, it's too easy to skip, and especially on his health situation, only 4 hearts, green mail, like he'll be able to death warp fairly quickly.
Yeah, definitely. It is funny seeing someone clearing up Dark World route and someone just entering CAC for the first time.
Right. Yeah. Understandably so, just based on how he started to do those couple checks early on. It certainly made sense for him to last locate this.
Yeah, for sure. But with the boots too, getting back to Saha for all that stuff is going to be a little bit faster, and it won't be that bad cleaning up some things later if he's forced to.
Yeah, it's just in 80 keys specifically, you're always trying to extract as much value out of every check that you possibly can, right? So, is Gamma going to skip the mountain, let's say, until he finds a hook shot? Or is he going to hold out as long as he possibly can for that hook shot? Those kinds of things where you want to maximize that value, and maybe OLF is going to put off that eastern area for too long.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have logical way up the mountain. That doesn't mean there's not 100 checks they can do up there right now.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, come on, you're not going to only ever go there once, so you got to get there somewhat early.
Yep.
But that hook shot's a big one, for sure.
Yeah. And, OLF's got a couple of pod keys already, so it may be in his head, too, that, maybe I'm looking for that 3rd or 4th key where I'll have the ability to full clear the entire dungeon outside the boss type of thing. Those are things that you're always weighing throughout the seed.
Yeah, and looking at this too, it's kind of funny. Their money situation's really tight. Like Obscure can do this, and he won't have enough money for pod unless he gets some lucky with some 20s in the digs. And okay, yeah.
3 right off the bat.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
So what is your preferred kind of route with this item loadout? Would you do a Hype Cave north, or would you do kind of that Kakariko south? Provided that you didn't do what Gamma did and last locate Kakariko effectively.
Yeah, from Obscure's side, I think I would have done Hype Cave north with the myths specifically, because then, if Thieves Town Big here, something in here something to allow you to do more checks in Village of Outcasts is in Hype Cave or one of those South Dark World areas, then it makes it an easier choice. It allows you to have more decisions once you get there. Yeah, those are some nice 5/6s, by the way. Yeah, we got Thieves Town and Skull Woods information on our 5/6s from Obscura's side.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot of like super late fire rods as of late in these 80 keys 30s matches. So, hopefully having that as a 5/6 won't lead to something that painful.
Yeah, you had one match I remember in this tournament that fire rod was in GT, right? I think it was Fire Rod and Red Cane were both in GT.
Yeah. There was, and if I remember, they were in Tile Room together. I think. Yeah. I don't know. It was something crazy like that. Yeah.
Right,
and so Gamma is doing the walk over to Graveyard Ledge, so he's going to be a little bit later to those boots. OLF making the full loop.
Yeah, this makes sense. I think from his perspective to do Catfish here, it's just done forever.
Yep.
There's no reason to ever go up to that area again. Sucks that he doesn't have the mirror here. Can't do Front of Escape. Can't do. I guess he can't do the first chest the chest in Castle Star because it doesn't have a way in yet.
Yeah, I haven't really picked up much outside of those boots. He got a bottle. So the next time he's in the Kakariko area, he can check that. But otherwise, it's been pretty bare.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny bottle, actually, wasn't it? Just the one bottle in a hype cave and then like nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
from
yeah,
a key perspective, it's all pretty. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, from a key perspective, it's actually a lot of stuff that you don't really care about too much. He's got the one TR key and the Castle Tower key, but everything else you're kind of ambivalent on, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and it looks like we missed powder on Stumpy. That's pretty funny. Oh, getting paid off with catfish here. He was down. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's nice, I guess. I wonder where the game wants you to go.
Well, I mean, he's got the bottle, he's got the powder. With boots, I would imagine. So I was thinking he was going to go check.
Oh, he skipped
King's
Kingston.
Tomb.
Maybe he's going. Actually, I have no idea why you would do it this way if he wasn't going to go towards Zora after this, but he doesn't have a way to splash lead, so that doesn't actually make sense. I don't know what he's doing here.
Looks like he's isolating it for now.
Okay, I'll just get back.
I'd be hoping to find it with Mir, yeah. Although I don't think it's necessarily faster to wait for with Mir, but so he's going to scout this small key. Gamma's cleaning up some of the stuff that OLF did earlier.
So okay, here's a situation we're going to end up in, right? Like if Gamma does Smiths and there's nothing on that, he'll get to Hype Cave, and then he'll actually have a more interesting choice of wanting to do Pod Eastern or Catfish for 1 check versus Pod Eastern for like whatever 15 checks. What do you think he's going to choose there?
It's a good question. I have a feeling that in that situation, he will probably go up to Catfish. Only because he'll be stuck on 2 pod keys, and maybe what he'll be thinking of doing is stopping by the potion shop, fill up a potion so he can do the bow side while he's in pod, and then after Catfish, maybe he just mirrors scouts Zora's Ledge real quick, save and quit, and then you do pod. I'm not sure, but if in that situation, I feel like that's something that I would consider.
Yeah, definitely. I like the idea of getting a potion on the way. Got a kind of a heads up play. You got to be thinking about it, but you also have to have money to do it. And
yeah,
that's going to be a question here if he doesn't get any more money from these digs. Yeah, $200 isn't enough to get a potion and go into pods. So,
well, he could buy a green goo.
Oh, you're saying if he goes up to cat? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I was thinking of the shop by Dark Lake Hylia with the red goo.
Yeah, I was thinking more just like you're doing it on the way to Catfish, so he's not thinking of that now, but once he gets the Hype Cave, it could be a consideration. Yeah, so OLF was just juking us a little bit. He just wanted to end at the mountain, so doing it this way, I think makes sense. He's not losing any time either way.
And it's the sword. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, as a viewer, I will say it sucks a little bit. It's like it's always fun watching these guys with boots and no sword, and like having to navigate the world a little bit that way. But for the runners, it's obviously a super welcome find.
I was going to say that.
And missed.
Yeah, that Houlihan wasn't going to work because he came out of King's Tomb instead of coming out of Sanctuary. I think he dashed for all the way south after leaving King's Sanctuary, and so he screwed up the Y coordinate. But yeah, going for money. I guess with the boots, then you do. I don't think he did Ice Rod Cave yet, right? So maybe he does Ice Rod Cave into Zora checks here. hopefully finding enough cash on the way. So I wasn't paying attention to the Smiths. Was it anything? Is it ever anything?
Looking at the tracker, I don't think it was anything. I didn't catch it either. K45 was just bombs, though.
It's a great powder. I bet Gamma's super happy about that. Just turn right back around and go straight there.
Right. Did Gamma even do Smiths?
Yeah,
I imagine he should have the... Oh, he has the purple chest. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he has the fake follower glitch or whatever.
So Olaf did not do Ice Rod Cave because he's in Mini Moldorp Cave right now. He would have done it on the way.
Oh, okay.
Nice bow.
Now you can beat Pod. Interesting. I think our choice has been made for us here. It's nice to go do Pod with six hearts and no sword, though.
And no fire source either.
Yeah, no fire source. Yeah, that mirror is actually pretty huge for Gamma, because going back to Smith Chain after you've already done a full Village of Outcast loop for Obscure is going to be a choice he has to make at this point. But he also did find the Thieves Town Big Key, which will give him more of a reason to go back there earlier than later. We'll have to see when he chooses to do that.
Yeah, and we were talking about Zora earlier with the bow. Really helps with the splash delete stuff. So
oh yeah, that's
he doesn't have to buy a potion anymore, but he'll just be able to knock out all these checks. I guess he won't be able to do Zora missing the 300, but
oh, he's not going to Pot. Yeah, I don't know about this because he can go do. He already tried to do Front of Escape. I guess he could finish cleaning it up here, but he can't get into Castle Tower, so those checks are just dead forever. I wonder if you're doing this, you're either going to Catfish or you're going to Pod afterwards and then never going to Catfish. So
yeah, we'll find out in a second. I have a feeling he's going to Catfish though.
Okay. Yeah, this will work out nicely then.
I mean, with Pod, 2 keys, it gets you to the boss. But you're still hoping for that 3rd or 4th key to be able to really get a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, I mean, of course you want to go there as little as possible.
Yeah. Olaf having exactly 500 rupees for this. He saw the big key. Says no. Running back out. This presumably is a hobo play?
Yeah, I would think so. I think Gamma can do all this now too, actually. He'll be able to knock all this out in one shot with that bow he found.
Except for Zora.
Except for getting, the one... Oh wow, there's another key there.
The 1 rupee, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, what does Hobo have? Small key to Pod, okay.
That's really nice. I don't see Gamma getting that anytime soon.
Yeah. I mean, well, if he doesn't get it, then he didn't need it, right? That's how that works. All right, we're going to find out another big key here. What do you think this is? Swamp or Skull?
Ice.
Ice? Okay. I can see ice.
Hey, look at that.
Hey, nice.
I was just trying to think of the other useless big key that will hurt us later, type of thing. You clear ice and then it's your last location for the GT big key or something. Ooh, flippers on Magic Bat.
Okay. So now, well, Obscure can't get the big key. He saw another big key on Highlight Island, which he also can't get. That one's the swamp one, though, right?
Yes.
All right, Gamma says no to pod. I guess, like you said, he wants those extra small keys. And a small key to GT on Sickit. Okay. I guess, we're looking for that Thieves Town small now. But with where Obscure is and what it looks like he's doing here, he's probably just going to go beat Thieves Town. And does he do mirrorless smiths here? I don't think so, but he's running out of stuff to do except for incompletable dungeons. So
yeah, it's he's starting to really feel the effects of not having that mirror.
Yeah, I guess he could do East Death Mountain too, and pretty sure he can hover. So if Hookshot Cave comes down to a hover, then that's going to be useful for him.
Well, he can't do it because he needs that mirror first.
For which one? Oh, yeah.
Form. Yeah, like he doesn't have a hookshot yet either, so he's going to get funneled into that area. And I guess in his situation, I see him potentially dipping Eastern right after that. Gamma, only having those 2 pod keys we've been talking about, but again, it's like you want to get as much value as you can, and maybe he's hoping not just for a pod key, but that Eastern big key too. And if he doesn't find a pod key, but he gets the Eastern big, then you'd say that was worth it, even if he only gets the first 5 checks out of pod.
Right,
at least he gets to
absolutely.
clear Eastern while he's there.
Yeah, Gamma finding a sword in Hera too, so once he goes back to clean up King's Tomb, he'll have Master Sword. He'll have access to both checks in Castle Tower. And I'm sure he'll rush right for those 2 checks. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Knowing Gamma, yeah.
Well, if there's something there.
Well, don't forget, he still hasn't done Zelda Cell.
Yeah, that's true.
Which he might spend all that time to go get that check.
Well, it's probably because he left the Fire Rod and Dark Cross for later, so he can get all the keys for ice before going to ice, right?
Yeah.
And so Olaf cleaning up Thieves Town. I don't think there was a piece of heart in the attic, so nothing so far. PR small. Ooh, a shield. I think that Gamma's now in much happier with a red shield. He can block fireballs.
Yeah, we're in shield mode. Oh, there's a fire rod.
Oh, okay.
And a bombos.
So where do you go next, do you think, here?
Does that qualify for the rule of fire if they're both in the same room like that?
Yeah, if Flute's up here too, then those were both lamp locked, right?
Yeah. It's funny because I was gonna say like ice, kind of attractive. He doesn't have logical access to it yet, but he's got the big key.
He can get to Mimic Cave now. Maybe.
Can I don't see doing Mimic Cave before stuff like that. Certainly possible. If he finds a third TR key and he has the medallion for it, then maybe catching a lot of fairies. That might be a play for Spike Cave.
Let's see. Did we find? I missed what was in Blind Cell. I was watching Gamma get beat up by the Moldorms.
I don't think we missed anything.
Oh, a mushroom and a flute on Blind. Okay. So, like we have logical way up the mountain now. And Ether for Toro Rock. I think Gamma.
Well, we don't have the small key for thieves yet, so.
Right. Well, could always be in the big chest. That's the best place for it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, well left doing mirrorless smith chain.
Yeah, with the flute, this is great. Actually, that worked out perfectly, finding the flute on Blind there. There's our lamp. So, not really a rule of fire, I guess. But Gamma knows that he missed the flute somewhere. Also means Thieves Town Small Key won't be up here.
Yep.
Silly as that is, but, it's a thing. I think he's going to go to Mimic Cave here. I don't know.
Ooh, you were right. This is kind of spicy.
Yeah, with
I
the
don't know if
fire
this
rod
is a
with all
play
that,
I would do.
you can get half of the items in Turtle Rock, and if if the TR big key's there or something useful. Like, it's your first trip up here, and the goal would be to just never come back for more than 2 trips total, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes Spike Cave a little tougher to get to. He's probably going to have to save and quit and then just choose to do that on his own. What's he doing here? Oh, no hook shot. There we go.
Yeah.
Gonna get the mushroom turn in. Okay, that flute paying off in more ways than one.
Absolutely. Oh, Obscure didn't have Smith money. You need 10 rupees to collect the Smith item. All right, getting paid off. $5 so far. And it looks like full magic is a stun price. So this kind of sucks. Obscure actually can't get the Smith item here. But he's going to grab that big key that he wasn't able to grab earlier.
Yep.
That fish is having a tough time swimming into the whirlpool, though. Not something I think I would ever have thought to say on comms, but this is what we saw happen.
Yeah, so OLF is slowly getting funneled into going to Eastern.
Yeah, it's now going to become do Saha. With the flute, it's not that bad to do Saha, actually. Well, when there's the hook shot, okay. I think Gamma's done. That's the he's getting that.
Yeah.
He's just going to Hookshot Cave to get 2 TR smalls and the ice rod, right? GT small. And a pod small. Well, that's nice.
There we go. So a little bit more incentive to head that way. Not sure if he'll head over there just yet. Oh, starting at Link's house, so maybe.
Yeah, where else would you go from here? Yeah, not gonna get that sword from King's Tomb, so won't be able to do any Castle Tower stuff.
Ooh, this is Ice Palace. And by the way, OLF heading towards Eastern, so he's gonna get this mirror.
All right, so that'll be good. What does he do with it? Now he's got some choices. Mire area? Desert stuff? Maybe?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think seeing that, he was planning on doing Pod Eastern, but he's got the flute out. He can still flute to 5, but I kind of like your play where now you go and check Mire with that mirror. Ooh,
yeah, and
the mountain. Okay.
Oh, checking the mountain makes sense too. But we do know too, which is nice, is that the overworld mirror checks that he got wasn't able to check earlier actually had nothing. So if he just never goes back to him, it'll pay off not finding the mirror earlier. But it'll still hurt him for not being able to get that bow earlier.
Right. Yeah.
So,
more of yeah. I'm gonna say just more of some inefficiency there, but yeah, Gamma actually making that Ice Palace play out of logic.
Yeah, honestly, this seems totally reasonable. Full clear it. You got everything but the flippers to put it in logic, and could find something useful in here.
Yeah, I think what helped make this play as well is that he had an Ice Palace key too, so it makes routing a little bit nicer.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Bombos and the Fire Rod, even the boss is kind of a joke here, so that's nice. Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's been so little money in the seed that even after doing Zora, Obscure's only found 11 rupees.
Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't forget about that Smith.
That's a good point. I don't think there was anything on the actual smith, right, that we needed. Just the purple chest.
Yeah, so how does it work? Once you turn in the smith, even if you don't grab the item, the purple chest is there?
That's correct. Yeah, we saw a league playoff match this last season where one of the runners did exactly that and forgot to grab the actual smith item and left, I think it was their flippers there. It was pretty, they turned in the smith but didn't grab the item, so they thought they had it. But it's funny how those mechanics work.
Yeah.
Nice blue cane.
It puts that spike cave, well, I guess not in logic for him.
Yeah.
For Olaf it would be, but we know it's in logic.
All right, eastern map. Oh, there's always a sword and ice, right?
All right. Yeah, so when Olaf does this, he will have tempered for the fight, making it even more of a joke.
Yeah, it'll be very nice. I don't know. Gamma has like 7 hearts. That's like too many, right? He needs to stop picking up hearts.
Red mail? Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. All right, Obscure getting his multiple fire sources. But now Ice Palace is in logic for him.
Yep. So in that case, does he have any incentive to skip PR now? I mean, he doesn't have the hook shot, so you might be thinking of some hook shot logic with an Ice Palace as well. But I guess having the keys alleviates that. Like, his question is going to be, hey, do you go into TR? And if he does and finds that hook shot, does he bail like Gamma? Or does he keep going?
Yeah, because you can get, 2 more chests, I think, in Turtle Rock? You can even scum a key if you're so inclined to figure out if you need to find 4 TR smalls or not.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's definitely a play that I've seen multiple times in this tournament. So. All right, here we go. Using that Bombos to start. OLF's going to be more efficient here opening Turtle Rock before doing Hookshot Cave, actually, so this is interesting. Looks like Gamma did the spin the puffs to the left corner, which makes it easier to kill them with the Fire Rod, and gets a Turtle Rock key for his for this play.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily feel bad about finding that. Like, after just going there, kind of knowing, well, I had to go to the mountain to get all my fire stuff anyway, and then find the keys. So,
yeah.
It's not one of those keys where you're thinking that your opponent got it earlier, because just simply based on where those fire sources were.
Do you see Gamma get his shield stolen, then immediately punished with the bonk for trying to get rid of that shield?
Yeah, it's you could have just mirrored as soon as you got out of TR and without even moving. So making the play to pod finally with that 4th pod key. So yeah, getting that key from Hobo paying off nicely. He'll be able to clear all of pod if he wants to do a few loops. Otherwise, he'll be skipping 1 chest. Probably the big key chest if he chooses to do that. But we'll be able to get 13 out of 14 of these.
Yeah, there's always a pod small and pod though, right?
As of late, yeah, I feel like I've seen that in the front, either on the right side or in that bridge chest.
All right, so let's see. The first chest in pod, what do we want to see? Probably a mirror shield, I would think, so that Gammachuu can have some better defense in front of him. Because I know that was definitely an accident having that shield taken, so now he can't block fireballs and things.
Okay, OLF backing out. Makes sense. He hasn't even been to Hookshot Cave yet, so...
Yeah, right. Oh no, everything else is in Hookshot Cave to finish the dungeon. Oops.
Right.
Do you think he does Hera here, or just leaves?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, like, because Gamma could have gone to Hera after Hookshot gave. Without the big key, though, you're doing that stuff out of logic. You're leaving the big chest. I see both sides of it, because if you're doing the big chest later, you can potentially do it with the big key chest. But I probably would skip out on Hera right now, especially with the mirror. Like, you can go back there without having to do this big loop.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of agree. It seems reasonable. Like, there's what, 2 checks in there that could gain you an advantage versus isolating 1 check that kind of screws you over forever. So
yeah,
versus the plethora of things that just opened up for him.
Right.
Oh, except he doesn't have the bow. I actually forgot about that. So it's kind of awkward now. Hey, a Desert Small. Gamma can go beat Desert now. Not in Logic yet without the Hyrule Castle key.
Yeah, but he also needs that flute. He hasn't been to Thieves Town yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably trying to wait for that small key.
Yep. Obscure went back in. This is interesting.
Yeah, if there's something here, gonna be
Okay.
Nice book.
Okay, dude.
We were just talking about it. No access to desert. No, I'm wrong. Not in Logic yet, because he needs a couple more pod keys, but we'll be able to full clear that.
I think this is the dig a little bit deeper into Turtle Rock and then scum Lava Chest play from Obscure. So good for information, but it's hard to say that this usually doesn't pay off. And usually when you do something like this, it'll give you like a shovel, something to just make your life miserable, knowing like, do I really want to bank on the shovel and be forced to look for a 4th TR small, or just say no to everything and be sad for the rest of the seed?
Yeah, and in his shoes, to be fair, this play may simply be I got the mirror late. I'm gonna check Mimic Cave because I don't know if Gamma would. Type of play.
Yeah. Oh, and he doesn't have the bow too, so it's less obvious for him to go do Pod Eastern area.
Yeah.
Ooh, an ice rod.
Getting paid off.
Hello.
Wow. I mean, it doesn't do anything for him right now, but from a knowledge standpoint, that's pretty nice, because Gamma's got that 3rd TR key. If he pulls the big key here pretty soon, he may be in that I'm not going to go there until I get the ice rod feeling and get there very late,
Yeah, we got Thieves Small and Castle Tower Small in the Bolok side of Pod now. So Gamma won't be leaving the Thieves Town Big behind, whatever's in there. He'll get his 20 rupees out of that when he goes through Thieves Town, and now he'll be able to go back and do Zelda Cell and Castle Tower and get whatever small key is on Lumberjack at some point.
Yep. And one other thing I just thought of as it relates to that ice rod, if TR is a pendant, is it possible that Gamma puts this off? Like if he gets into GT mode, let's say, at some point.
Oh, yeah.
He may put that off thinking, I'm just going to get it in GT.
That's a very good point.
Now, if it's a crystal, it's a moot point, but...
All right, here we go. What is it? It is a Heart Goodbye Forever Lava Chest. So that's also good knowledge. I mean, it was a fair chunk of wasted time there, probably a minute or so to know you don't need to find a 4th TR small, but still knowledge nonetheless.
Yeah, well worth it with that ice rod pickup as well.
Absolutely. I still like your point though, the TR being a pendant. That could be super interesting to find out about. Gamma's trying to help us measure the hitbox of that jewel. Just going to the edge to make sure that he could figure out where it actually is.
I thought there was a target on the wall that he was aiming at.
Oh, yeah, it could be that too. That
pendant
makes more
pod.
sense. Hey, a pendant. All right.
So less likely now that the TR is a pendant, but we shall see. OLF going into Ice Palace, which makes perfect sense given that he's got those flippers and all this stuff is in logic.
Yeah, Gamma's saying no to Eastern, so he'll, most likely last location is Eastern Big Key there. No, we don't actually know it's there where that is yet, but it's one of those things that can happen.
Gamma gonna get his Tempered Sword here, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm curious about this play. I guess you do this now, but I was thinking, like, maybe it makes sense for him to go do Castle Tower, Hyrule Castle stuff, and then be able to get all this with the Lumberjack key. But then again, what small keys do we really need at this point? Besides, obviously, the small key to Hera. I think we have all the small keys at this point. That could be the Hyrule Castle key.
Yeah. Probably just like a Mire key or something.
Yeah. Oh, Swamp. I guess that's important.
Yeah, that's the only. It looks like that's the only one we're missing. That's important.
That's okay. That'll be in Moldarm chest, right?
Yep.
All right, so Gamma going south first here. I guess this is cleanup, Village of Outcasts, Thieves Town. Bat? Do you do Bat? I guess, and then you last location, or then you last.
What are we doing? We're fluting?
I don't know, actually. He hasn't killed Thieves Town yet, so. But yeah, then finish off Moth, check Ped, and then be on your way.
Yeah, it makes sense to do these before Skullwoods as well, because you don't have that big key yet, so it would be nice to just kind of one-shot that if you end up finding the big key.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there was a third TR small in Ice, if I wasn't... Maybe it was on the boss. So Obscure about to grab that, getting his sword here in a moment, and then...
yeah, TR small was in here.
Nice Cold Stare fight.
Yeah, and Gamma back in logic with the flippers there.
Yeah, so that Ice Rod is now going to be like the big play of the game. When does Gamma go to Mimic Cave? And is that answer never? Because it seems like it might be. Yeah, Obscure having a really nice fight so far with Cold Stare, knocking him up in the corner, get a couple Fire Rod shots, a couple slashes, and Cold Stare is down.
What happened?
Looks like he was waiting for the Enemizer fight, or I don't know.
I thought like maybe something happened with my feed. No. Okay, so yeah, he gets that Turtle Rock key.
Yeah, and this will get them all caught up, except for that pod dip, basically, between the two runners having Thieves Town and Ice done.
And the only thing that, well, he has to get that bow.
Yeah, that seems the most likely thing he'll need to get next. Might be doing Front of Escape and Castle Tower next. I don't know why you would go over here otherwise. Oh, Big Bomb.
First check.
He hasn't done Skullwoods yet. Maybe that's actually kind of weird. I would assume he'd do. He knows the two red crystals actually. I see. He's taken the route to get back to Skullwoods and clean up Overworld on the way.
Yeah, he still hasn't done these mirror checks.
So yeah, this will be some nice cleanup. We know this is nothing, so it'll be fine just from a a routing perspective, this is the best way to kind of get all this stuff done with the order he found the mirror and other items. Or I don't know what swamp? Oh, that's right. There was a big key on Hylia. Good point. Thank you, Tofile or Tracker. Ooh, that's kind of an important key.
Yeah, Gamma did see that because I remember he fake flippered over to Hobo. So you'll get that at some point.
Yep, that's true.
This is presumably the play to Skullwoods, and then yeah, you'll do the pyramid stuff later.
Yeah, let's see if Gamma switches over to the mirror if he menus to check for red crystals at any point. Nope, he's running somewhere.
He just realized he didn't.
He tried to do it in the wrong order.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, activate the
he tried to
before
flip
Thief's Down.
Yeah, exactly.
So where is he running to?
I think he's going to Skullwoods now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He hasn't done Skullwoods. This makes sense.
Yeah, see, this is where I would have thought that maybe you do the you do Castle Tower so that after Skullwoods you can just run right over there and get that key as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting key. It's not much, like we said, kind of what we know. It's maybe Swamp is the only key that could be actually useful, but it might just be a logical key for Skullwoods.
Right.
Oh, nice cape.
It doesn't do anything for us logically. Bumper K was nothing, so. But a nice to have for sure. A little weird to be 56 minutes in and only on 7 hearts.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and just thinking about it too, we haven't really found like any maps, have we? Found
there
Turtle
were
Rock
a
just
couple early on, but yeah, not that many.
Yeah, we found like Swamp and Thieves Town, which we both already knew from NPCs.
Check your map OLF. I want to see it. Did not get a map check.
Did he check PED?
He doesn't have the book. The
Oh,
book was
that's
in
right.
Pod Big Chest, so he doesn't have it yet. We'll get it on Gamma side though, for sure.
Gamma trying to spin the moth. That doesn't actually work to do damage, but either way, it takes him down. Alright, so both runners now have the same dungeons. Gamma has a pod clear over Obscure at the moment, and he is going back to clean up the smith, so this will be really good for him to get this bow. I don't think he has much left in logic, though, right? Just a few checks in pod.
He still has the castle stuff, but I think, yeah, outside of pod, it's... Oh, he still didn't buy the item from the smith, that's right. We were talking about that earlier. Yeah, he's got pod, and then I don't think he's dipped Eastern. The pod Eastern, and then castle, so But, you know, being over here, it makes sense. This will allow him to basically finish the area.
Yeah, it's the last chance he'll ever be here without doing it as a one-off, so makes sense.
Gamma buying a potion. That was a hard-earned fairy, if I remember.
Yeah. No, he definitely caught that fairy on his own. That wasn't a found one.
Yeah, and GFE in chat, I tend to agree. I think you could have mirrored over at 3 and then just fluted back. And then he just lost the purple chest because he mirrored at the wrong time.
Oh,
that feels bad.
No, and that's the only one that matters. This is like $50, I think.
Yeah, and he spent all the time to walk over here too.
Yeah.
A couple of small keys in Meyershid, by the way, that were useless. Gullwoods and Hyrule Castle, but that feels bad, especially since we know that that's the bow.
Yep.
Is he gonna go back and get it?
And that Hyrule Castle key puts the Desert Big in logic too. Oh, hey, there's the other skull.
That's not good. He didn't go back to get it.
No, that's not good.
Well, so we need to hope that there's another bow somewhere around here for his sake. We did get a check of Meyer. Meyer is Bombos, so we do have access. No big key, so we can't finish it just yet.
Yeah, we could always have the potential weird type of situation where Easterns are third pendant, and then there's just a bow and GT, and Obscure eventually finds it and gets to go mode those two dungeons.
Yeah.
Hey, Howard Big. How are you?
Nice big key. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Now he'll have the opportunity to not isolate that big chest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll get his mirror shield out of there for sure now.
Question in chat. Ice Rod is on Mimics, or the Mimic Cave, so it's very possible that Gamma is super late to that, depending on whether or not TR ends up being a pendant.
It's funny that we still don't know.
We've got the map. I'm waiting anxiously for that map check from somebody. Gamma still doesn't know that his dungeons 3 and 4 are actually the red crystals, which he has. So
that's true, yeah, and he has them all fully in logic.
Yep. You know, maybe he's checked it when he's done a pause, because that would help push him towards the castle tower stuff as well. I mean, doing stuff like this makes sense. He could full clear it, but
yeah,
it's like, why would you do a Meyer dip when you know you can do those checks? I feel like.
Yeah, and you have to beat Aga anyway, so you have to get to that area at some point where, you know, obviously the ideal situation is to just do it at the end of the seed.
Right.
But with everything that we have for it and the small key on the Lumberjack, could be Swamp. Could be something you need to do early.
Yep. Olaf making his way over to Hera, so we'll get to see what's upstairs.
All right, it is a crystal, so we're down to Turtle Rock, Meyer, or Eastern for the last pendant. Is that right?
Yes. You are correct.
Funny that we still have no idea. So, Moogle, what else are we looking for? What's left of this seed?
Well, we don't need any medallions, so we're good there. I think at this point it's just the Swamp Small, Eastern Big, TR Big. So a bunch of big keys. Olaf got that GT Big Key. We know where that is, but we were missing what? Meyer, TR, Eastern?
Meyer, TR, Eastern. Yep.
Point. Just a small key to GT in the big chest, so nothing consequential yet.
So Gamma will still not have the ability to defend himself from fireballs or lasers on Laser Bridge. So looks like he didn't check his 5/6s, but he might just be YOLOing that he has them now, or forgetting.
He doesn't know.
Okay.
Oh, this is a big. He's grabbing the big key over here first.
Okay.
You know, maybe hoping that it's something like Meyer, so that he can go full clear that.
All right, we see Obscure take down Moldorm. I didn't see what item was on the boss, but he got his crystal. His, what, 4th crystal now?
Yep. Here comes Spike Cave. Gamma gonna follow in his footsteps, making his way to Hera.
Yeah, he has this book now, but the book's pretty buried in the logic. I have a feeling book's useless in the seed.
Yeah, at this point, it kind of feels like it. If like the Meyer dungeon is a pendant, then maybe it's the big key for it. But yeah, I agree. It's probably nothing. It can't be a pod key, at least.
Yeah. Oh, it's a key. Oh, Meyer key.
Okay. Yeah. A useless key.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, that might be good for him to know that, you know, maybe he ends up skipping out on cutscene chest.
Yeah.
Saving a little bit of time there.
See that for sure. I think Obscure's out of things that aren't Eastern or Pod. Gonna go get this purple chest. Get his bow.
Yeah, and in his situation, he's probably going to do Eastern, right? Because Pod was pretty barren.
Yeah, I think, what did we find there? We found a Castle Tower key. I don't know. Because that's all he could do after Pod. If he could go beat Castle Tower, do the front of escape, he'll get his Desert Big Key if he does, and then and have to make a decision after that.
It's just like the number of checks in Eastern versus those. It's like, at least from my perspective, it's equivalent. Like at least I think I would do Eastern in that situation.
Yeah, well, he has all of Escapism logic now. So it's 4 checks there. There's 2 in Castle Tower. Pyramid Fairy's 2 more, I guess. So if you clean up all that in one shot, it's the most ideal way you can do it. Also with the pyramid, but that didn't work out in this seed.
Yeah. I wonder where Gamma's headed after this.
Yeah, someone
Meyer?
do Pyramid Fairy already, please. All right, cool. So Obscure now following into Pod, and we'll be able to clean up the same number of checks as Gamma. With the key layout, it feels like that last chest in Pod that they skipped won't be useful for literally anything.
Yeah, and Gamma just did he checked the menu there in Link's house, so I think he knows now that it's a 5/6.
Yeah.
That he has them, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like on his tracker he marked Desert and Harris, so sorry, you're wrong, bud.
He just picked a couple.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I've got him.
Yeah, all of his crystals are actually fully in logic too, so. Imagine being fully in logic and add keys ever.
It's weird.
It is. There you go.
TR is a crystal.
Lucky for Gamma today. So what does that mean? That means if we find the TR big key... Oh, we still need the Eastern big key. So Gamma knows the full information. Meyer is a pendant, Eastern's a crystal. Oh, Pyramid Fairy, why?
Yeah, so GT mode is still what? Eastern and TR big key, and then the swamp. Oh no, swamp is a pendant. So just those two big keys.
Yeah, good times.
Ooh. We are going back for Zelda Cell.
Yeah, and Obscure is doing the full clear of pod play. So it looks like he'll most likely be not leaving any items or harmless, but either one, it doesn't matter. I mean, not leaving any items does matter because it costs more time, but the 2 6-key lock chests were both nothing needed, nothing required to beat the seed today. Okay, Dark Cross. Hour, 69-minute Dark Cross. What do you think we have today?
Something nice.
Nice.
Oh, so we are saying no to Zelda Cell.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Dead forever.
I'm trying to think, what kind of outs does OLF have at this point? I guess Zelda Cell would be one of them.
That ice
Gamma's
rod.
been... Yes, but Gamma's like, he has to get that. He's not going to be wasting, several minutes in GT basement looking for it.
Yeah. And maybe if Obscure is able to get to GT mode faster, like if he finds the TR big or something and ends up not ever having to dip Meyer, that could be a thing that Gamma full clears Meyer potentially, but
right.
But yeah, I don't know. There was nothing in Castle Tower, it looks like.
No. Yeah, because Gamma's being pretty thorough. Looking at his tracker, he doesn't really have a ton of stuff left. I think he still hasn't done Zora. He's sitting on 500 even as well. So that's kind of funny.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So yeah, he can dip Meyer. He can do the first chest of Swamp, which that feels like that's going to be last, right? And then he's got Zora and Mimic stuff. So yeah, it feels like Meyer's probably going to be the play. But right after this, you obviously check.
That lumberjack, right?
Yeah, we'll be able to find out what that key is.
Gamma's stuck on the wall here. Okay. And meanwhile, Obscure takes down Helmasaur for it will be his pendant. I don't think he never did a map check either, right? So he doesn't know yet what the final layout is.
Gamma losing points by not getting the hook dash there.
Yeah. Oh. It's going to be half a second wasted that he'll never get back. So it looks like Obscure is not opening the door. So he's being throw here. I think he knows that, in his mind, Gamma got that bow the first time through. And he's feeling like, hey, my outs right now are to be throw and Gamma to skip something. It feels like that's what this play is sort of showing to me.
Right. Yeah, I tend to agree. And I feel like in that instance, that's probably even more reason to go into Eastern.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you haven't had any incentive to do that unless you were going to do it right at the beginning of the seed, right? So.
Yeah, and the only thing that is now could drive him away is that second Castle Tower key. And then, because he hasn't touched Front of Escape still. Man, what a weird seed. We started with Mitz at, 60 seconds in?
Yeah, it was still a 1 in the front. I don't remember exactly how, maybe 90 seconds, but yeah, it was really fast.
Ah, it was the desert. I was wondering why we got 4 pod smalls. I forgot what was back here, but it was the desert small to put GT in logic.
Yeah, he still does not have the big key though, so I think it'd be a little odd to do that next.
I agree.
You can't clear it. Gamma mirroring, probably gonna flute to 8. This feels like it's gonna be the swamp key.
Yeah, it's starting to feel that way because we're running out of stuff for actual things to be anymore. And swamp is, you know, kind of our densest location if this is the key, if this is the swamp key. Okay.
Turtle Rock. Well, that's 4. A little bit of extra incentive for him to go up there. Still gonna wait for that big key, obviously, but play to Meyer. So yeah, this makes perfect sense. He's only got a couple of one-offs outside of this.
Yeah. Yeah, what does he even have left? He has Zelda Cell, Mimic Cave. I think that's it in logic. Oh, in the front of Swamp.
And Zora, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, and Zora, that's true.
Because I remember he got the big key, but I don't think he's gone back.
No, I think that's dead forever.
Yeah, those are all very awful checks.
Yeah.
Yeah. If any, or if Zelda Cell, for instance, has something bad, for him at least. Yeah, not. Well, it's not out of this yet for sure.
No, definitely not. Yeah, with this path he's taking, he'll get Desert Big Key, and then he'll get whatever's in Zelda's Cell as well, which might be something at this point. Like you said, we're out of stuff. If it's like the TR Big Key, that's pretty big. Key.
Yeah, because it's in logic with that Hyrule Castle key, so.
Yeah, I think Gamma's gonna say left side's dead to him forever here. Knowing where that third Meyer small key was.
Yeah.
Nice bonks.
Now it's possible he does it just simply because he doesn't have a ton left.
That's true too.
But
no, he is.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
All right. So this is time where, like you said, you know, Pendant Meyer, if OLF doesn't have any incentive to come here, this is quite a bit of time that he'll be getting back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about this more. We found one Meyer small key on Ether Tablet, which is 6 pod key lock. So that's, you know, that doesn't prove, but it's more likely there's just nothing on these 2 chests. But we did find the one Meyer small key in logic in Pyramid Fairy, which makes a logical requirement for the lobby chest and the map chest. So I feel like if we're going to find progression in here, then it's going to be in one of those 2 chests.
Yeah.
And nice arrow as well. I mean, the arrow had to be somewhere, right?
Yes. We've seen the single rupee on Zora.
Yeah, I think we found the other one too in Checkerboard.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing here. Okay.
Yeah, so just a couple more checks for him here.
Big key 2. Ooh, nice big key.
That's a great big key.
Yeah. The fetch quest.
Yeah, the only thing that's left over there for him.
And we have Compass of GT. All right, so now do you rush the first chest in Swamp here?
One in Swamp? No, he's going straight to Skull Woods.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he also hasn't done Bombo's tablet. So he may end up doing that swamp chest right after this with that tablet check. It's very possible.
And just 10 arrows in Zelda, so okay. We are about to find out. It's what, 2 checks left that it can be. It's either this Skullwoods chest or the first chest in Swamp.
Oh wait, no, Eastern. Eastern. They both haven't been to Eastern.
Oh, did they both not do Eastern?
I don't think so.
Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's nice.
Trying to remember. I don't think they've been there.
That's funny, yeah. Hey, now we know that Skullwoods is a crystal.
This is where you start to get a little worried, right?
Yeah.
You've orphaned a couple things. You just spent all that time in Mire for nothing.
Yeah. Did Mire over Eastern here. I feel like Eastern's one of those places that pretty much, most runners universally agree is a terrible place to check without the big key.
Yeah.
But we need the big key. It's a crystal. So it might actually be in here. That's pretty funny.
Vanilla big key?
Vanilla big key. Can only hope so. I guess, yeah, Gamma's going to do all 4 chests anyway, no matter what, because he doesn't have that ice rod. I guess it's not going to end up burning him, surprisingly, but yeah, he's going to get to the ice rod again before he'll literally run out of stuff to do, except for Zora after this. And hey, there was a 300, by the way, in that first chest, so there was actually tons of money in Sphere 1. We just never wanted to go grab it. Great dungeon so far, though.
As a viewer now, what I'm kind of hoping for is like a TR big with the Eastern big on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, maximum punish.
Yeah.
I wonder if that stun was intentional to refill his magic. Probably not, but worked out. And big key to Eastern. Hey, I called that at like 5 minutes in, didn't I?
Right, yeah, you did. And it would have sucked because you didn't have the bow anyway.
Yeah.
Probably, unless the other one's here.
Right.
Yeah.
And he skipped the big chest. I guess he'll get it on the way through.
Yeah, I think I guess either way he could have done hook speed, but maybe it's just in his head, he'll just do the hook speed to get through the big key door.
Yeah, and speaking of hook speed, Obscure got his hook speed in Aga Tower, so props there. Yeah, only made it about halfway up though. But
well, I remember Gamma was still standing at the foot of those steps, so
yeah. Oh look, another 300. You can rush Sora now.
Maybe. I mean, he's still kind of running low on stuff.
Compass to this done. Okay, dude.
I mean, unless Armos has something, we haven't really unlocked anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess from our perspective, we know the answer has to be the first chest in Swamp.
Or Bombos.
Obscure check Bombos, I think. I think it was like 10 arrows or something.
Oh, okay. All right. I remember he redid that loop. I couldn't remember if he did that. Yeah, unfortunately for Obscure, he's getting funneled into those things that he's missing. There was no real opportunity outside of that Mire dip to waste a lot of time.
Right. Oh, there we go. We are in go mode. Well, oh no, Meyer big key. Never mind.
Yeah, he's probably going to go right up there, get that ice rod, and run right to GT. So he is rushing Zora. All right.
Okay, sure.
It was that. Oh, well, OLF had rupees early on. I got to go check this. Do you think he picks up the rupee?
Maybe, actually. Yeah, he'll just stand right under the middle of Zora, so he'll be forced to pick it up. There he goes, yeah.
So this is presumably the desert dip for OLF. The question is, does he do Meyer? And I think you've put off Eastern for this long, like you're going into Meyer, right?
Yeah, Meyer before Eastern? I think so. Alright, yeah, so we're just looking for 2 keys to finish up in the Ice Rod, on Gammachuu side.
Yeah, I will say I'm a little disappointed that the seed wasn't more, clowny. There's a fairly straightforward 80 key seed, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much your main plays are to do Purple Chest, to dive into Turtle Rock to get your hook shot, and to do Saha. Well, you don't even need to do Saha early to get your mirror, honestly, but it helps, obviously, for routing.
Yeah, and given kind of the item loadout, the keys that they had at the time and stuff, like, doing them Turtle Rock dip made perfect sense. There's nothing wrong about that.
Yeah.
Gamma able to route Purple Chest in with the mirror. Those kinds of things. Just things seem to work out nicely, just given the items that we had available to us early on.
Yeah, it was pretty clean, and with the boots being relatively early in the path too, that was nice. It's kind of funny too, because like if Obscure had done Saha before a Dark World loop, he could have done the hype cave left, gotten the bottle, gotten the powder before going into Vu the first time.
Yep.
And if he had the mirror, he could do all that stuff. The only thing that would have been annoying would be the bow on Purple Chest at that point, so it ended up causing him issues anyway. So, but takedown Lanmo here. Will be his 5th crystals, 7th dungeon overall. Is that right?
Yeah, he's done Aga 2, or Aga 1. So yeah, he's got 7. But if he goes into Eastern, it's still, yeah, he's gonna do Meyer. I was gonna say if he goes straight to Eastern, then he's not. He's only a few minutes behind, but
yeah,
doing Meyer now.
Pretty massive time loss here.
Yeah. But completely understandable. Like I said, when you put off something like Eastern this long, you're just in your head, you're just not going there until you can.
Right. Gammachuu finding his Ice Rod can now beat Turok and get into Ganon's Tower. Alright, so we have 2 chests, or 2 items. Well, I guess they could be in here, too. So I'll wait till we finish Turok, but otherwise we have, people can choose to guess if where they think the Mire big key or the Swamp small key might be. So that's all we're looking for at this point. Or if one's in the other, that's always fun too. You find the Mire big key, do you just leave? You find the Swamp small key, do you just go beat the tower and then hope Mire big key's in Swamp? Like, ooh, interesting. Pod key there.
Yeah, I think if you find either one of those items, you go straight to that dungeon. You don't do GT.
Just leave forever.
Well, no, I mean like if he finds the Swamp Small in TR, for instance.
Oh. Interesting. I mean, you could always just go in, check the front, like do like a DM strat, get the front like 11 chests, and then climb, and then go beat the dungeon. It's fairly efficient, I feel like. But I don't know. Yeah, that's where 80 keys gets interesting because there's a lot of cool choices like that you can make sometimes.
Yeah, like if he gets a Mire big, you don't leave to go clear Mire for just the 2 chests. But
right,
Swamp, I could see where you're left with a little bit of a choice there, you know, because when you go to GT, like you
there's
said,
the Swamp.
there it is.
Okay.
You could do the DM strat like you said, but then you're still leaving several chests behind if you choose to climb. So it's like if you're going to GT, you're committing to doing the entire basement. You know, now he is only looking for the one item, so you've got, what is it, 22 versus Swamp has what is it, like a
versus like,
well,
11,
if he goes up, sorry, I was just talking about the basement only, but
right. That's right, we don't have the Swamp big key either. Well, it's okay, the Swamp big key will be in Moldorm chest, and then Mire big key will be in Swamp big chest, right?
Oh, and Olaf's gonna get baited by that Skullwoods key too.
Oh, I forgot we found that. Yeah, no, this seed hasn't been actually terrible with things. The only, the biggest trip ups was the Eastern big key and Eastern, the bow, a couple things that are just kind of choices that you can make actually, rather than being forced to do dumb things. Because a lot of that's kind of the big difference between the 2 types of seeds, right? Is when you're forced to do really dumb stuff versus just making choices that, you know, sometimes work, sometimes don't.
Yeah, Gamma going to GT. Playing the odds makes perfect sense, and he has to clear it anyway. So
yeah, and he has all the keys to GT as well. So
now I'm curious: is there any consideration just going up, or you do like hope and then go up? I know you said DM strats. That's, you know, a little bit more of a commitment, but.
He's not going straight. It feels like if he's going down first, he might just do the whole basement, but
yeah.
He's going to compass side. I don't know. Just go hope, open the middle door, and then go full left.
Yeah. Like, I'm not courageous enough to just go up, but I know runners who would. You know, they
there's been
be doing stuff like this, yeah.
I've seen at least one match in this tournament where a runner did that and got paid off. Ended up being pretty behind going into GT, but found the last castle tower key on the climb, and I think it ended up being within 30 seconds to a minute of the 2 finish times.
Yeah.
And there's the big key to Mire. Well, okay, nice bit of fluff here. And that is go mode at, what is it, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 45-ish seconds? So what number check was that, GT? Was that like 4?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, because he ended up getting a Quake and that hard. After? Yeah, Vortex. So yeah, fairly straightforward seed.
Yep. Just go to the places and do the things, and don't last location Eastern. Or do, as we see here.
Yeah. And when Gamma did Eastern, it was not last location, but getting pretty close.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where the 4th TR small we found. I know there was one on Cold Stare, but do you remember where the 4th one after that was? Because what I'm trying to figure out is if it was possible to do TR your first shot up. And if you did, you'd end up having to full clear swamp and waste a lot of time doing other stuff, so maybe not an ideal situation.
Yeah, you would have got baited into doing a lot of other stuff. I want to say Meyer, but it's probably wrong.
Lumberjack. Yeah,
Yes, that's
right.
correct.
Yeah, so it's not really possible then, unless... Well, maybe, if you did Pod Eastern before going up there, which Gamma had the opportunity to. He just would have had to do it without a land. Or a Fire Rod or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough call. Do Castle Tower with no fire sources at all before ever going up the mountain. Yeah, you're obscure about to finish Eastern. Yep.
I think like possible that some runners would do something like that. Hoping for the hook shot. But
right.
Unlikely.
Okay, so the last thing we can kind of ask ourselves: where do you think the mirror shield is?
The right chest up here. So Gamma's not going to
so
get
he'll
it.
miss it. And then Silver's will be in the left chest. Oh, okay, never mind.
Not even checking. Now I'm disappointed.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that. Here does a nice job taking down Armos there. Now has his TR big key, but already has done all the first stuff in TR, so the only thing that he can check if he wants to is the big chest. Otherwise, straight to the back.
Yeah, but not even opening Moldrum chest.
Wow. I don't know. Who is this runner that we're watching today?
No idea.
What has he done with Gammachuu?
Yeah, chat talking about Gamma's fluff. I don't know if he's going to fluff in Swamp now. That was a free chest he just gave right up.
Yeah, really.
Using Swamp first. Certainly doesn't matter which order he does it in.
Yeah. I guess, let me think. Swamp first, you have to mirror an extra time. Meyer, you have to mirror next. Yeah, it doesn't matter, I suppose. Oh, you know what? It's because he was going to get hit in front of Swamp. He wants the sword beams for Meyer. That's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
NMG strat.
Look at this guy. Not even opening the first chest. I do have a feeling he's going to open the diver down chests.
Just go, go, go.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's up against a really tough opponent.
Oh, yeah.
As we mentioned at the top of this, both these guys made the Final Four, of the main tournament. So, yeah, he knows he's gotta rush his way through this.
Yeah, putting a bomb there to replace the lag that the shield would normally have to just feel more comfortable in that room. But yeah, that's always the beauty of racing this game too, is you have no idea where your opponent is. They could have gone into Eastern early. They could have, God bring the ice rod. Like, you could definitely feel very behind in this situation.
Yep. Saying no to those two chests as well.
Oh, but getting this one?
All right. He was feeling lucky, I guess. You're making his way to Trinex. He ended up getting the Swamp Small, so just that big key now for go mode for him.
Yeah. It's also interesting to see how people route GT and Key Sanity. I think it's still pretty common to see Compass Room and then full left. So we'll have to see if Obscure does that. We found out today it's the most ideal path through to get to the Meyer Big Key.
Yeah, the conundrum always is, do you do hope DM strats, like a normal seed, hoping to find a key there, but when you have keys going in, it makes perfect sense to just go right, and then you can clear the rest of the basement when you go left.
Yeah, I think that's the most ideal path through, right? In terms of efficiently full clearing the entire dungeon.
Well, and then not isolating either, right?
Yeah.
Because if you check Hope Room, don't get a key, and then you end up in that situation where it's like, my opponent did DM strats, I could have gone, or they would have gone to Compass Chest and gotten those four, and you don't get a key in Hope Room. Now you're going left, and you decide, am I going full left? What am I gonna do?
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of which, Obscure is now with 7 crystals in hand, and the Swamp Palace Small Key needs to find the Meyer Big Key, and GT is about to open it up. We'll find out what he is going to choose to do. So this all came down to the mirror and the bow, right? Basically, Gamma was able to have a more efficient overworld route because of the mirror, and then also because of the mirror found the bow super early.
Yeah, that's it. OLF lost a little bit of time due to that purple chest mishap, where he kind of walked it all the way up to Graveyard Ledge and then left it there by accident.
Yeah,
it only, but that probably only
mistake.
cost him, at that point, because he only had a couple things left, like maybe 2 minutes. But
and
not having
he's
the
going left first.
I think was. I would have to think he's going to DM here.
And a small key to Hera. Ooh, that's a good one. Looking at this here with Gammachuu completing this dungeon, we'll drop into GT. Will still be a sub 150 time in the end. Pretty good time.
Yeah.
Assuming it doesn't fault again, Yeah, you called it. Obscured with the DM strat here. We'll be finding his marquee shortly.
OLF not even checking for silvers.
Yeah.
Calling it a day.
Yeah, knows that, he's just got to go at this point.
Came out with a nice one cycle. See if you can get the second part of it.
Yeah, looks like he nailed it. Not even using the cape. Ooh, taking a Ganon hug though. That's not a way to do this fight.
Yeah, despite being on red mail, you don't want to take any of those hits for sure.
In my tower, nice. Fine, they were on the climb, right?
Yeah, do you think OLF opens any of them?
No. Does he get to them by the time Gamma's done? We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, he may
out, so.
finish the seed. Not sure. Ooh, a fire bat. Getting Gamma.
He did pick up that fairy that he burned.
Oh, he picked up another one?
No,
Okay.
not another one.
Oh.
But yeah.
Got it.
He tried to make the good use of the bug net, but. And that's 12 spins to take down Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for Gammachuu finishing the race in first place with an official race time room time of 1 hour 46 minutes and 2 seconds. And we have also seen that Obscure Lifeform has forfeited the race. So get your GGs in chat to him as well. And looks like we're going to try and get these guys in for an interview. See if we can ask them some questions about the seed and specifically why get rid of your fire shield. Looks like Obscure has joined us in the booth here, along with Gammachuu. And yeah, GG's to both of you.
GG's.
Oh my gosh, I was muted right here. I'm sorry about that. I'm talking, I'm being ignored. Okay, yeah, GG's Obscure.
GG's Gamma.
So yeah, how about that ice rod? I don't know. There's a lot of interesting things on this seed.
Always in TR, right? I was really hesitant going back until just pretty much clearing out what the rest of stuff I had left over. I think all I had left bombos, Zora. No, I did Zora at the end. Bombos, First to the Swamp, and Zelda Cell. That scared me the whole time because there was no way I was ever going to go back there after I died.
Yeah, we were speculating for a little while whether or not that ice rod would come into play. Because if TR was a pendant, I was thinking that there was probably a good chance that things could lay out in a way where you just use last location, something like that, or get close to it. If you're full clearing GT. Yeah, it turned out it was a crystal, so it didn't really matter because Obscure ended up getting that his first go around into TR. So other than that, you guys were pretty much doing the same types of checks. The only thing is that you had the mirror early, whereas Obscure didn't. So you got to do those checks a little bit more efficiently. Get your bow and those sort of things.
Yeah, the mirror felt really nice because I already had mitts before I even touched Lost Woods. So I'm like, I'm probably gonna save Kakariko till the end. That way I could just go hopefully Dark World from there. The Boon Pearl being where it was too also felt really good. So it just kind of felt like nice routing. I just felt like really bad after dying in that chest and Boomerang chest inside Hyrule Castle. It just it kind of sets you in a small like little tilt mode, and early that speed too, it just feels terrible. But yeah, there was no way I was ever going back there.
When you jumped back in to do Dark Cross, I thought maybe there was a chance you were going to make your way all the way through there, but
I was banking on that small key on Lumberjack being the Swamp Small. That's what I was kind of hoping for because I just had really not many good checks left, and you don't want to dive Eastern without big key on hand when you have the bow, right?
Yeah, I think that's where we were looking at, the biggest potential for time save in the second half of the seed for Obscure if he mirrored after pod to just check Eastern, since by then no one had yet. But then, of course, I think the things that lead you away was the Desert Small, the Castle Tower key, knowing there's another small key on Lumberjack, stuff like that. I think if he had gone in there earlier, though, the biggest time save would probably be just co-moding Meyer at that point. I'm not sure if it would have been enough in this seed, but it would definitely have been a bigger difference in time, for sure.
Yeah, I think I still would have touched Meyer before I went back to TR, just to look for that ice rod, because there's no way I'm going to go back, when I already kind of did the first 4 chests and kind of bank on ice rod being there.
Yeah, that's why we figured it would cause the biggest shift in time for Obscure, being able to just go back to TR.
Right.
Yeah, it just felt really bad. Like I felt really good, like especially diving Thieves Town early, finding the Thieves Town big key and getting the flute and everything, and I was like, oh wow, this is really good. But then just in the mid game, it just felt really slow and sluggish, and I'm just like, I'm losing time, and it's just it was just rough towards the middle. And then when I found the Eastern big key in there, I was like, well, this is basically last location anyway. This is not going to happen. I was just like, it just felt tough. And then when I went in Turtle Rock early, I was like, okay, I was like, Gamma might get that moon pearl like really, really late, so he might go up the mountain with this mirror, clear the light world, but not be able to get into Dark Death Mountain. Then I found the hook shot and ice run, and so I was like, this is great. And then I was thinking like, wait, it actually opens nothing. I was like, is this? Yeah. So I was like, this is just a loss of time again. So it just felt really, really rough. And I just, once I hit that mid game, I just couldn't find my feet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was a little scared too, because last game Obscure, I don't know if you remember in game 2, there was something we had to get into Eastern early on for Dark World Axes. And we were kind of kidding around, like, maybe going in there right away as soon as the game started. And I was really curious, would you continue on there after getting the mirrors? Like, because getting the Eastern big, it's pretty big. You get the TR big afterwards, after early on, you could have potentially even gotten the Swamp Small inside a TR, like clear out Turtle Rock, the first dip in there. But no, I was kind of in panic mode because again, I only had those few checks left over: Swamp, Bombos Tablet, and Zelda Cell. So I just did not feel good.
Yeah, for me, it was kind of down to Thieves Town Big Chest, or once I found the Eastern Palace Big Key, I was like, okay, it's Armos Knights or the Thieves Town Big Chest, and I was like, that feels bad as well. Because, like, again, I just assumed that you'd probably go to Pod early, because I know you put off the Thieves Town Small Key for ages last time. So I was like, okay, you've probably gone to Pod, picked up this Thieves Small, and I was like, that'd be game. But I was like, once I found the Big Key at the back, I was like, okay, it's open up Thieves Town, GT, and everything. I was thinking of climbing straight up GT, but I was like, this is silly. I'll just check the front.
Yeah, I held off until I had 4 keys, I want to say. So I only orphaned 1 chest in there. So I'm like, okay, I think I feel good enough going in with 4. Maybe there's 1 in there. But I was okay with orphaning at least 1 because there was no way I was going to go right side 3 times. I was just really banking on the other key being there. But it was a pendant, which kind of surprised me too. It made me think, oh, it's probably nothing there then.
We found the book in the Pod Big Chest, and I was kind of like, well, this is going to kind of open nothing. Especially with only 4 keys here. I was like, for Pod, I was like, there's nothing going to be on these. But then I found the 5th, and I was like, okay, well, maybe the Maya Big Key. And I was like, again, if you're feeling behind or something, then you might skip the Big Chest if you didn't go in there with a Big Key. But actually, the Big Key was really early, wasn't it? So, I don't know. You'd think of all these different circumstances of what your opponent's doing, and it never seems to turn out right. They seem to always surprise you and do something completely different.
So you did Thieves Town early on?
Yeah, it was my first dungeon. Like, I'd done the like a world tour of the Dark World all the way around to Catfish, picked up the Thieves Town Big Key, and then went back to Thieves Town. So got my flute pretty quick.
Okay.
Yeah, that actually worked out really good too, because when you got your flute, you hadn't done any smith checks, and because you didn't have the mirror at the time, so you were able to combo turning in the first smith check with activating your flute. I think you also did flippers and sit kit at the same time with the flute, if I remember.
Yeah, done the magic back. But then I handed in the smith, but I'd got exactly 500 rupees for Zora, so I handed in the smith and couldn't actually get the prize from him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
So
you didn't go back for another 20 minutes or something?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I was I messed up the purple chest as well. I left it on Graveyard Ledge, so I had to go and pick it up again. I'm glad I did, because it was the bow.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought you would have done that early on, so I just kind of felt like, I don't know, if you did that Eastern early play, I'd probably in a bad shape right now. Yeah, and that ice being where it was, there was no way I was going that deep, especially after getting hook shot.
Yeah. I mean, like game 2 as well, like you went to Eastern after Pod, and I was like, okay, Gamma makes this play. He was like, I should make this play as well. Oh. And I just didn't in the end.
I considered it hard.
Yeah.
I had the mirror pulled out after Helmasaur, and I just have I have Skull Woods open and Thieves Town open now, and I know the flute was somewhere early. It was either going to be Eastern, Thieves Town, or not Skull Woods, because Fire Rod was up there, and so I was just kind of thinking, if it's here, maybe, but I'd rather do Thieves Town, avoid this. Maybe I could single dip it. There's also a big key I noticed too. Where was it? And Floating Island, Lake Highland Island. Yeah. So I was maybe hoping I could single dip it.
Yeah. For me, like when I finished Pod, I had Desert I could clear. I did go in there early and get the big key to Hera, but I had the rest of Desert. I had the big red bomb. I had the front of Hyrule Castle and the Castle Tower. I had both Castle Tower keys at that point. And then obviously with that small key, I was the same as you. I was expecting it to be the Swamp Small. So I was like, okay, I don't want to go to Eastern. I should go to Eastern, but I don't want to go to Eastern.
Always go for Eastern play.
Yeah, you think we'd learn, but you never do. Eastern's just bad. It's in a weird place at the moment.
It was so awkward for me. I'm like, no, just couldn't do it.
We were actually speculating a bit on that. If you had gone there earlier with the bow and done Eastern after Pod, I think you would have been able to actually get the Swamp Small Key before GT. So it would have given you potential to waste more time in Swamp at that point. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But you wouldn't have had the Ice Rod, so it's hard calls to make at that point.
So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, GG's Gamma.
Yeah, GG's again. Definitely scary not knowing where you are. You know, I stopped looking at race time after I cleared out Agate. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna look at that no more.
Yeah, I'm like that as well. To be honest, I'm only on Lambo 2, so I hadn't quite closed my race time just yet. If I'd finished Agate and it wasn't done, then I'd probably close it and just finish. But yeah, I mean, it's always a pleasure, Gamma. Even though we've seemed to have developed this rivalry, even though we're not really somehow. So
Don't worry, you'll get me in the next one. It's a lot of back and forth.
it is. I mean, you're 2-1 up, but I mean, this well, you've won 2, and you lost in the SGL, but I mean, this went 2-1 as well, so it can really go any way, really.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, it's always fun.
One.
It's always a pleasure to race against you, and you're such a cool guy as well. So.
Oh, for sure. Same thing, Obscure. GG's again. That was really fun, and yeah, here's hoping. You know, it's just more difficult race after race, right? So just cross your fingers and hope for the best. Really.
Definitely. So I guess I'll see you again in the main tournament.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, dude. GG's again, and thank you guys, Homemade Beer and Moogle Champ for doing commentary as well, and for trackers out there putting up the restream. Thank you all.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Do you know your opponent in the next round?
Is it Shelter? No.
It looks like P-Train.
P-Train, yeah.
Yeah. What are you thinking about that?
I mean, I don't know. I know he runs a lot of energy, so I'm already feeling like an execution advantage. Just probably make skips here and there, and hope for the best. I don't know.
I hope he's here taking notes.
No, I don't know. I'm just lying. Full clearing. Gotta mess with him a bit. No, I don't know. He's another rough opponent, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Hopefully, just go to progression and finish faster. GG's easy, right?
Yeah. Well, good luck in the next round. And
yeah, thanks.
But yeah. So once again, thanks Moogle. Thanks for ZSR to put this on, and our trackers as well, Royale and Top File.
All right, and with that, I will play us out. Thank you all for coming, for watching, for working. Also on ZSR today, this evening, we've got some Zelda 2 randomizer tournament match. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern. And right now, I'll be sending us over to Ocarina of Time Lockout Bingo Grand Finals. So thanks all, and we'll see you next time.